Welcome to Red-tastic. Story 1. Growing up, my 31 females, father 63 male, had sole custody of my brother and me, and it was a difficult and often traumatic experience that has had long-lasting effects on our relationship. It was particularly hard on me than my brother, 35 male, as our views clashed a lot, especially with regard to my sexuality. My brother's relationship with dad has always been better on account of the fact that he's a straight white male. Despite the difficult past, my father has lived with me and my brother on and off for several years now, because he has been unable to afford the rent. But then a few years ago, he and my brother had some sort of a falling out, so ever since he's been living with me full time. It has not been easy, but I've done my best to maintain a relationship with him. However, there have been moments when it has been particularly difficult, such as when he magnifies every little thing brother did to him in the past, but not even acknowledging me who's been boarding him so far longer. The favoritism is palpable, but I've kept my mouth shut. Few days ago, things came to a head. For some time now, I had begun to suspect that my father was up to something. He had been receiving mail from mortgage companies, and when I asked him about it, he lied to my face. It wasn't until later that I found out the truth. My father had purchased a house for my brother 2 years ago, around the time he moved in with me, and has been paying for the mortgage all this time. He was trying to save money to pay the mortgage by living with me and getting me to pay for everything, all because he wanted to give his favorite son a house. My brother is also complicit in this. They both concocted this plan. It means I've been paying for a part of my brother's mortgage all this time, when I thought I was supporting my dad who couldn't afford his rent. All that money that could have gone to making my life better went to these two selfish people. I was so hurt and angry, and in the heat of the moment, I kicked him out. He has now taken up camping at my brother's house and has begun berating me endlessly. My brother has been sending me wall after wall of texts, calling me an a-hole for kicking our father out. But I guess they both aren't a-holes for taking advantage of me for 2 full years. Now, I find myself struggling with conflicting emotions. On the one hand, I feel like I made the right decision in kicking my father out. On the other hand, I'm still hurt by his actions, and the fact that he seems to be favoring my brother and going to such an extent is just sickening. Any thoughts? Update. So yesterday, my brother called and told me I'm going to have to take dad in again because he cannot afford to support him. I simply told him that I will only if he pays back for all the utilities and bills I've paid for him in the past 2 years. There was a massive argument where they both tried to knock some sense to me, but I was so over it. I'm gonna hold my ground firmly. You did the right thing, OP. Both your dad and your brother are a-holes. They don't care about how this is affecting you. All your brother cares about is the fact that he can't support your dad, so you should do it. You've given your father so much because of the love you have for him. It's okay if you don't want to do it anymore, especially after finding out that he's been doing so much for your brother while he takes and takes from you. Your brother should take care of him now. He did buy him his house. As for you, just know you deserve all the love in the world, even if your father doesn't give it to you. Take care, OP. Story 2. My daughter just turned 6. We had a birthday party for her on Saturday. That morning was pretty hectic. I was outside setting up, and suddenly my wife came outside, yelling about how the grocery store screwed up the birthday cake and I didn't notice. All that happened was that they spelled our daughter's name as Sarah with an H, and it's Sarah without an H. And I said, who cares, just scrape off the H. But she insisted on returning it. So I said, fine, whatever. And then as she's leaving, she says, since I screwed up already, I should make up for it by finishing the decorations. And I go into the kitchen and I ask my daughter, what's the most important thing? She says, the gift bags. I found all the candy and toys and what I thought were the bags they were supposed to go into. So I make up the bags, my daughter helps, and she thinks they look great, and she's happy with them. My wife comes home and takes over, satisfied by the new cake and the attempt I made at helping. So a little while after that, the guests arrive. The day went pretty well until the end. My daughter reminds us that they need to hand out gift bags. My wife panics thinking she forgot about them, but she says, "Don't worry, Dad made them." And she looks so relieved until I got the box. She looked inside and was horrified. "What the F is this?" she whispers, and she thrusts the box back at me and rushes to the bedroom. I follow her and find her sitting on the bed crying. She's so embarrassed. Why? She won't say. I'm not sure what to do because people are trying to leave and they're confused as to what's going on. Then I just take over goodbye duty and hand out the bags to kids at the door and say bye with my daughter. Well, halfway through doing that, my wife came back out and took the box from me and brought it into the bedroom and threw it on the ground. What the F? She finally tells me, "Those are dog poop bags. And basically I'm stupid and I've ruined all the hard work she put into the party." Well, Reddit, they don't look like dog poop bags. They're just small pink bags with hearts on them. Who really cares? I tell her, it's not like they're dirty. They're small bags like any other bag. And damn it, she freaked. She says she's so mortified she doesn't even want to show her face at the school anymore. So yeah, I've been bringing my daughter to school every day this week, which has been making me late for work. My wife will barely even speak to me even though my daughter thinks everything is fine. She laughed when I told her they were really dog poop bags. My wife got even more mad at me for telling her. I told my wife she needs to chill and she basically said I was a huge a-hole, and she's mad that I don't think it's a big deal, and I still don't. Actually, I think I'm the one that should be mad at her for keeping this going for almost a week. So Reddit, am I the a-hole? Update. After posting here and seeing all the replies, I have to admit I was pretty surprised by all the comments calling me the a-hole. I thought it would be best to talk to my wife about what happened. I realized she was definitely exaggerating about what happened, but I still don't like seeing her upset or having her be mad at me, especially for this long. She's still my wife and my best friend. Anyway, she went to bed early last night, so I didn't get a chance to talk to her after the post. But this morning when we woke up, I told her that she should take the day off, and I told her I would take our daughter out so she could have some alone time. She asked me, "What about tonight?" Because originally I was planning to go out tonight with a couple friends, and I told her I was going to cancel. She asked why, and then I tried to explain that I felt bad about the dog poop bags. And then she just got upset all over again. She turned over to face away from me, but I was pretty sure she started crying again. She told me to go away, but instead of leaving, I just held her and kept asking why she was so upset about these stupid poop bags until she finally told me that some of the other moms at school have been pretty judgmental in the past, and she was afraid they were all talking shit about her now. No pun intended. I tried to tell her that it doesn't matter what the other mom says or thinks, because she is a great mom, but she really wasn't having it. I did wonder at that point if there was actually more to it than that, because it seemed like she wasn't telling me the truth completely, and I really don't see how this could be that big of a deal. Some of the comments mentioned therapy, so I brought that up, but she didn't seem too happy about it. I'm going to take my daughter out now. She is fine, by the way, so thanks to all those who were asking. And I guess I'll try and talk to my wife again later. Thanks for the support, everyone. This has been a bit unexpected and has really given me a lot to think about. You're the a-hole, OP, because you haven't yet realized that when the party details aren't perfect, or the house isn't clean, or the kids' clothes are dirty and their hair isn't combed, nobody says that you are a bad dad. But you can bet your ass that if someone noticed that things were less than, they think badly of your wife. While you're saying fine whatever about the details, other people think your wife is a bad mother. Your wife is also the a-hole because she is yet to realize that you're both in this together. She has to let you in and make you understand how and what she's feeling instead of bottling it all up. Now for some comments. You wrote that she's a stay-at-home mom, so depending on how her social life is, maybe these other moms are the only grown-ups apart from you she talks to on a regular basis. So being not accepted by them, or even worse, means that the only social interactions she had outside of family are negative and stressful ones. Of course, that's a big deal then. That is an awful situation. I was thinking about that already when I was reading your original post. It was clear that she got even more mad when you told your daughter you used poop bags because your wife was afraid she would tell the other kids, and then their moms would know. For something that's supposed to be for children, adults sure love to make it about them. The most important thing is that the child is happy and has fun, not how perfect it is or your image. I always hated birthday parties growing up because it was more for the adults than it was for the kids. I would be trying to have fun, but my mom would tell me not to do this or that because I was embarrassing her. So, not the a-hole. Your child thought it was funny, and as long as she enjoyed her day, that's all that matters. And really, taking a cake back because they put an H at the end of the name should have just scraped it off and not been so harsh with you about it. Thanks for taking all the "you're the a-hole" comments in stride, but honestly, your update still comes across with the same kind of tone that other people who said you're the a-hole have pointed out. You don't see why something is a big deal to your wife? Well, try again. It's not unreasonable to be upset about feeling like other people are constantly judging you, because for moms and even women in general, they usually are. Are you the a-hole being judged about being irresponsible when it comes to raising your daughter? No, because the onus of parenting often falls on the mom. I don't know if you've seen this Black-ish episode, but when the dad bought store-bought cookies to school, he was commended for stepping up. And when the mom made homemade snacks and treats, it was completely taken for granted. This is reality, and you need to see it. It's a big deal, and being judged like this really does effing hurt. I encourage you to take a step back and empathize with your wife and try to understand how she must be feeling, because her concerns are valid. The episode is Season 1, Episode 4, Crazy Mom. You should watch it just to see your wife's point of view.